I'm Emily and I'm going to talk about the different routes for employing individuals from outside the UK. Before I jump into the different routes that require sponsorship, I thought I'd cover off a couple of routes that you can use that you don't need to sponsor individuals for. For example, the graduate visa. The graduate visa is for anybody who has completed their studies in the UK and wants to stay in the UK for a further 2 years. There's also the high potential individual visa. This is for people who've graduated from a top 50 university outside the UK who can come over to the UK and work for up to 2 to 3 years. There are routes that do require sponsorship, and I'm going to talk about those in a bit more detail. Firstly, we have the health and care worker visa, which is for medical professionals wanting to come to the UK to work. They must have an eligible job, for example, a lab technician, a biochemist, or a pharmacist, just to name a few. In order to qualify for this visa, the individual must be a qualified doctor, nurse, or adult social care worker. The individual must have a job offer from an NHS supplier, the NHS itself, or from an adult social care provider. They also must be paid at least the minimum going rate for their role. Another option is the scale-up worker visa. This is for an individual coming over to the UK for a fast-growing business for at least 6 months, and they must be paid at least £34,600 a year. We also have the senior or specialist visa, which is for individuals who work for overseas companies wanting to come over to the UK entity for a temporary work period. In order to qualify for this visa, they either need to be working for the employer for 12 months and be earning £45,800, or they can be employed for less than 12 months, but they must be earning £73,900 to qualify for the visa. We also have the UK expansion visa, which is for individuals in overseas companies coming over to the UK to set up a UK branch, and that is just for senior managers or specialist employees. And similar to the one before, they must be working for the overseas employer for 12 months or be earning £73,900 if they've been working for them for less than 12 months. Lastly, we've got the skilled worker visa, which is the one I see the most of. With the skilled worker visa, you can stay in the country after 5 years without needing any further sponsorship. However, the minimum salary requirement for the skilled worker visa is going up in April 2024 to £38,700, or the going rate if the going rate for the job is higher. I often get asked about the cost of the visa. The cost of the visa itself is borne by the individual, however, organisations can offer to cover that cost. The cost of the visa can be between £284 and £1,500, depending on the type of visa, the length of the visa, and where they're applying for the visa, whether that's in the UK or outside the UK. On top of that, the individual also has to pay the healthcare surcharge, which is £1,035 a year. Organisations also have costs that they're responsible for, which they need to consider. If you want to know more about that, click on this video.